Ricky's updating Rita on what he's recently found out.
The Carters actually organised themselves, but I'm delighted to say that my granddad was probably one of them that was a member of the Carters Union.
So your ancestors must be like you then?
Yeah, obviously it's there.
Firebrands and want justice for everyone and stuff like that. It must be in the genes.
Well, it must be. But at that time, there was a divide in the working class in Liverpool.
In what way?
A religious divide. Although, the little bit I know about my granddad, he had nothing to do with it. He wasn't a bigot in any way, shape or form. But the boundary was sort of Great Ormond Street. One side was the Catholics towards the docks, and the other side was the Protestants going up towards Everton.
That's why all your lot were up with the Orange Lodge.
Yeah.
And us lot were down. Yeah.
Amongst the shit.
Yeah.
I saved you from all that.
Oh, sod off. Calm down.
But it does fire me up. I mean, me and you were sitting here now. You're a Catholic, I'm a Protestant.
Yeah.
That would, you know, 100 years ago, that would have been practically impossible.
So something must have happened to unite them despite their religious beliefs, because it's not like that now, and it hasn't been like that for many years.
There was obviously a sea change, wasn't there, at some time?
Something must have happened.
Ricky is meeting social historian Mark O'Brien.
My granddad and my great-granddad were Carters. But as you will know, at the time there was a religious divide.
Oh, the working class in Liverpool was terribly divided before 1911. But that starts to change, particularly with the arrival of one person called Tom Mann, the founder of the National Transport Federation.
Oh, yeah.
Here he is, he inspired workers.
Would my granddad have had a chance to listen to him?
Oh, no question. He was close to the Carters, who were absolutely involved with their union. His message to Liverpool workers is to unite, to make class a type of identity which was different from being a Catholic or being a Protestant. You're a worker first and foremost.
In August 1911, Thomas Mann called for all workers, Protestant and Catholic, carters and dockers, to walk out in solidarity with striking railway workers. For the first time in Liverpool's history, they put aside their religious differences and united.
So that's here, that's where we're standing now.
Yes.
That's wonderful, that, isn't it? I'm made up to see that they're like that, instead of in rags and whatever, because it showed that they still had pride and dignity within themselves. I just wish I was amongst it, but I hope, and probably, my granddad would probably be amongst that crowd there, being a Carter.
The Carters Union was absolutely central to all of this. Your grandfather, and possibly even your great-grandfather, would almost certainly have been in that crowd, Ricky.
Well, I'm very proud of that. I'd like to think they were there, yeah. How many thousand do you reckon was there?
Reports from the time say 100,000 workers. It was an extraordinary moment, and the whole of the Liverpool working class were together for the first time in a display of solidarity.
So they've kept on going, haven't they? They keep getting knocked down, but they're like a rubber ball. They bounce back, they bounce back. That's why I'm so proud, you know, being a Scouser. I'd be part of that crowd, agitating for a better living for everybody, you know. Tremendous.
I can imagine that.
What followed that?
There was panic in the establishment. They were worried about law and order, but they were worried also about revolution. The city goes into meltdown. Most extreme events took place around Grace Homer Street. I don't know if you know Grace Homer Street.
Yeah, well, that's where my family were from.
There was a regiment of hussars, and there were workers there protesting. The hussars raised their rifles, and minutes later, 2 workers had been shot dead.
Get out of it.
One was a carter, one was a docker. At the funeral processions some days later, hundreds of workers turned out to mourn and to show solidarity, but they didn't see them as Protestant or Catholic, they saw them as workers who'd fallen.
Right. That was the breakdown of the bigotry then, wasn't it? Well, I'm made up in a way because my granddad, he would have been out there listening to that. And I think he had the sense and the foresight to say, forget that, forget the religion. Practice your religion if you want to, but don't use it as a weapon against anyone else. So I'm proud to think that my granddad Tom, as we called him, he would have learned so much from that. And any bigotry that may have been around at the time within him, gone, disappeared. Well, it's been an incredible journey. I've laughed and I've cried, I've been angry, I've been upset. But it's really nice to be here while it's like this, while it's so peaceful and quiet. The waterfront now is wonderful. People come from all over the world to see it. But it wasn't like that in the days of my ancestors. They were grafters. They made Liverpool what it says. I love the city and I love the people. I don't want to live anywhere else.